Good morning. Cindy here, and it is the end of March, and I have a long list of chores that I have got to get done very soon because I want to start entertaining. March, April, and May are the times that we invite people over if we want to sit on the back porch. Our weather is perfect. It's we don't burn anybody up, and so it's time to get things cleaned up. Now, before I get outside and start, working hard, I feel like it's very important that I cover myself with lots of sunscreen. And I want to talk to you about two things. So hold on a sec. So this is something that many of you probably already know about, but this is mineral sunscreen. There's lots of different companies that make it. This one is CeraVe. This is the titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which is what lifeguards used to put on their nose that would make their nose completely white. It's very safe. This is what there is in babies' sunscreen, but they tint it. So it comes out in a nice beige color so you don't feel like you've covered yourself with all this white. So it's a little bit more safe than other sunscreens. And I use a lot of sunscreen because I'm outside so much. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Mineral sunscreen that's tinted. And another thing I wanted to share are my sleeves. These are the coolest things. They only go up to right underneath your t-shirt line, and they have an elastic band. I've been wearing these for days, and they do not pinch. They're not too tight. They're stretchy, and they cover the back of my hand, my arms, and I really feel like this is going to be the best thing to keep down the brown spots that we get as we age from too much sun. So I also put a little light layer of sunscreen underneath, but I don't have to worry about reapplying and reapplying because these have me covered all day long, and I am outside all day long. Okay, so let me tell you what else I am doing the end of March. I have such a long list. So number one is cleaning this patio. The patio has been sitting here for all through the winter. It's got a thick layer of dirt, not dust, dirt all over every surface. The cushions, every shelf, every table. So that's going to be the first thing. But I'm not going to kill myself too much. I'm not going to do windows. I'm not doing a deep clean. I am going to come in here with the water hose. I am going to, wipe things off because here in Central Texas, we have another issue where everything is going to get covered with green pollen. So I do want to go ahead and clean. I am going to do some entertaining, and then I will have to clean again when that pollen comes in. So if you have been here in Central Texas very long, you know we love our live oak trees. And I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see. This particular live oak tree has lost almost every single leaf. They turn brown and they fall off. The wind helps blow them off, and they are all laying on the ground right below the tree. And they look pretty messy right now. Let me just show you in case you aren't lucky enough to have this all over your backyard. But that is just a thick layer of oak leaves. And they are very slow to break down because they are so thick. Now, the next phase is these little tassels. And if I can get a little closer, the end of every area where there was a leaf, there is now a little green tassel about 2 inches long. And now those tassels will turn brown and they will fall off. And that's where all that pollen starts moving through the air. And then every car, every window, every surface is covered with green. And if you are struggling with allergies, you may want to wear a mask for these 2 weeks. And then new green leaves come out and everything is great again. So that's why I'm cleaning twice. Once for the dirt, once for the green pollen. Now, another thing I'm going to do is bring all my plants outside. I have a whole greenhouse situation set up in my bathroom. I'm going to insert a little video here so you can see. And I've actually enjoyed it all winter long. They're in front of a great window. I thought I'd show you where my plants have been all winter long. This is one spot. A lot of them were in the garage, the bigger things. But this coleus is so happy. This is the western side of the house with that glass block. And these plants have really been just fine. There's jade and all kinds of things. Orchids, my orchids are blooming right now. I think I might leave my orchids in here because they love this so much. They really might prefer this kind of light. More jade, a lot of begonias. This is a dragon wing begonia. Aren't those beautiful? And more begonias. And then that's angel wing begonia. She's ready to come outside. And I have just an array of all kinds of things. There's a money plant and a lot of fun plants that are saying, take us outside. But now it's time to put them back. They live here and they live on shelves, they live on the floor. So that will be chore number 2. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is continue trimming down all of my dead branches and stems on all of my perennial plants. And let me just show you some of those. So as you look around my garden, I have hardly any mulch left. My irrigation tubing is all exposed, and these little guys, I have trimmed them once, but I might come back. This is plumbago. She's still dormant, but she's come back every year, and I can see little signs of green here and there. I know she's alive, but when she starts coming up, I may trim this down a little bit more. But you can see I'm not ready to put the mulch down yet because the leaves are still falling and it's not that hot, so I'm not worried about, the evaporation of my water. But I will start trimming all of the dead stems. Thought I'd show you my creative dog proofing. So I just planted these 2 little purslane. They're related to ice plant. So if you squeeze the leaf, they kind of have some juice inside of them, but this is the flat leaf. And they open up, these little cute flowers open up every day. They're so pretty. And I love to put them in this spot because there's no irrigation here and they can handle full sun and very little water. So, but they're brand new. And I have dogs here today. I'm babysitting my daughter's dogs. And they love to come right in here and walk on this. So I have a chair turned over them. And it's working. And then as soon as they leave, I just move the chair and everything is great. So here's one of my big chores, is continuing to trim down dead stems. It is time to trim them down. This is lantana, and I do not see any signs that she is alive, but lantana is one of the latest perennials to come back. So don't fear, more than likely they will come back. So I will take my clippers, and I've got my trusty Coronas here. I've had these for a long time and I just keep sharpening them. And I'll leave a link below if you want to get some Coronas. And then I just get in here and I get close to the base of the tree and start snipping away. And I'm not seeing any green, but that's okay. They are still alive. And I have piles and piles of these stems that I am either going to compost or put out in the trash. These stems are kind of a lot harder to compost. They take a long, long time. So I probably will just send those off in the trash. But if I look down here, way deep down in here, let's see if we can see any sign that they're alive. We had 3 days in the 20s this winter, but it shouldn't be a problem. Another thing you can do is get a little knife and scratch it. Oh, I didn't even have to get a little knife. Look here. It's green. Yay, it's alive. And right here are some ugly snails, and they are not doing any damage to the lantana because there's no green. But I do put down snail pellets to get rid of these guys because they can be quite destructive. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is fertilize. It is time to fertilize everything. Your native plants don't require much fertilizer. They are just happy in your alkaline, crummy soil. But I go ahead and chicken feed everything. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So my fertilizer of choice is Microlife. And I really love this 624. This is all purpose. It's beneficial to all plants in our area. Right now I have some drift roses, some boxwood, and I have some native things in here. I've got some lantana that are still asleep in this forward part of the garden. And so I usually just chicken feed it. I'd take handfuls and just kind of throw it around, make sure it's not too windy. The really great thing is that we are about to have a rain. So on Thursday and Friday, the chances of rain are very good. So that is why I am rushing out here. It's Tuesday to make sure I get everything fertilized, because a good soaking rain after you fertilize really does make a difference. It helps that all those beneficial ingredients go down and feed that soil. Now this is all organic. It feeds the soil. It has billions of beneficial microorganisms, and it builds the plant's immune system, which is all wonderful. So I am going to just take it and I just spread it out. And by the way, this is so safe. If your dogs or get in here and nibble some, and they love it. So I have to keep my dogs put up for a little bit. I'm just doing this for the video, but I will wait till my dogs go home. These are my daughter's dogs. Okay, so I just kind of scatter it around, handfuls, just like you would feed chickens. Give those boxwoods some. And that's how easy it is. Handful, about a handful for a small area. And I will do that everywhere, all my gardens, especially my areas where I have things that are trying to bloom right now, like my iris. I have to show you my iris right now. As I walk down my beautiful walkway here on the right side, I have all of my bulbs. So I have iris, daylilies, and daffodil in here. So let me just take a little walk. So the daffodil are spent, but they were so pretty earlier in March. They're all like papery brown now. And you wait to cut these until they all turn yellow. That way the green of the stalks and leaves goes down and feeds those bulbs. But take a look at the iris. These are bearded iris. This is a purple one, and they have a yellow throat. They're just so pretty. I just absolutely love them. I've put in some new ones. These are going to be blue, and I feel like I need some yellow iris too. But aren't they gorgeous? They're all the way down. And then these are daylilies, tufts of daylilies, and they just keep expanding and spreading on their own. More daylilies, daylilies. iris. This is the best patch of iris. Look at that. So pretty. And in between all of my bulbs, I have skullcap, and this guy just got a haircut with a weed whacker, so it looks pretty bad right now. But you have to trim these back so that they won't get leggy. But this will look nice and full and fluffy in a couple of weeks. And then all the way down, more of the iris. I hope that you guys have some place that you can plant these gorgeous iris and daylilies. They come back every year. They are the easiest plant, and the daylilies give you beautiful flowers all through the summer. Make sure you only buy repeat bloomers. But man, this is such a pretty area all the time. Full sun, and you get lots and lots of beautiful flowers. So I'll fertilize all of my bulb areas. They really appreciate some extra fertilizer. So another really important thing to do if you love birds and hummingbirds is to clean out your feeders. So we have multiple bird feeders, bird baths here on our property. And this is my husband's job, thank goodness. I don't do it because he's the one that feeds the birds all the time. But he is going to take all of the feeders down, put them, I have a big, huge plastic bucket. So I have a designated brush that I keep back here at the back part of the property. And the two of us together will dump this over. This is super heavy, just this top bowl tips over. We'll scrub it out, add about a tablespoon of Clorox and water, and just scrub away and then refill it with fresh water. And I'm hoping that it does something to keep down any infections. I try to do this every month, but for sure starting in March. So another thing I do in March is get out my hummingbird feeders. I've had these stored away in the garage for the winter, and I pulled them out last week, washed them really well, and filled them with sugar water. And I have 3 of them on the property, and I'm already seeing hummingbirds. There's one here, and there's one in this tree. Let me get a little closer. There's one here. There's some more bird feeders here, and there's more bird feeders back here. So we probably have a total of 12 bird feeders and 3 hummingbird feeders. Woo. So I empty these about every week. Sometimes I don't get to it, but every 2 weeks. But it is really important to clean these out regularly because of all of the bird viruses. So we definitely keep them clean. Plus, they empty them out pretty quickly. So while I'm out here making this video, the dogs are digging a nice hole right in the middle of the grass. So I'll pop this on top. That does a good job of keeping it down. But the next thing we do for sure that brings my attention to grass. I hope that all of you put down your corn gluten, which is a pre-emergent that you sprinkle all over your grass late February, early March, and that kills seeds, that kills the weeds seeds. And then it's time to fertilize your lawn. This is zoysia grass that has been trampled on quite a bit by 3 big dogs, but it looks like it's doing great, except for the heavy layer of leaves from the oak tree. But pretty soon we will be picking up all the oak leaves. We just do it with the lawnmower and the basket on the lawnmower, and then we just throw it all into big bags. I do not compost these because they take forever to break down. And then we will put down some good fertilizer, which I'm going to put up here on the screen, and some humates. So that is another extra boost that will give your grass a little bit of a nitrogen boost to help it green up. While I'm here, I have to show you the bluebonnets. Aren't these fabulous? They just put themselves here. I put them in another part of the yard, and their leaves, their seeds blew over to this crummy wood chip pile, and they blew over into this crushed granite area, and they love it here. Isn't that funny? So bluebonnets are wild, and they want to stay wild. So I just love walking down this path to check out the bluebonnets. I'll show you over here. This is my Greg's Mist, and it is the butterfly magnet, and it's already 3 inches tall. And I have watered it a bit to try to encourage it to green up and thicken up. I don't see any flowers yet. I don't know if my wildflowers are doing anything, but there are some interesting things growing in here that could be something, or it could be weeds. So I'm continuing to water it, and hopefully I will get some wildflowers in this patch. No dogs walk in here, but it may just have too much grass in it. I don't know, but I'll keep you informed. And one of the last things I do, although the list can go on into the hundreds, the last thing I'm going to list here is filling my pots. So I did not take in everything. So everything in there needs to be redone. Its mate here needs to be redone. There's a pot down there that's empty. I will be filling my containers with gorgeous spring plants and helping to beautify this area like it is every year. Well, I'm going to sit here with my beautiful bearded iris while I say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you can get into your garden and start bringing it out of dormancy, cleaning things up, getting things fertilized and mulched. March is my favorite time, and I just get invigorated and love being outside and being with plants. So I hope maybe you get a little bit of inspiration from what I am doing, and you can get out there and add some beauty to your yard. Thank you so much for following, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Here is a before picture. Let you see. No judgment. Same issues going on over here, just really, really dirty. And I will be showing you an after picture where I bring everything out of the house and start making it happy out here on the patio.